So there's that. That was Marvin Harrison taking shots at T.O. after what he thought was Owens' somewhat ungracious reaction to missing out on the Hall of Fame in this first year of eligibility, while Harrison finally made it on his third try. T.O. responded yesterday with the following tweet. Here it is, friends. Shots fired. Triple crying laughing face. We know that emoji. Stephen A., were Harrison's comments in or out of bounds, in your opinion?
Believe it or not, I thought it was in bounds, because one thing that needs to be clarified is that somebody like me even lamenting the fact that T.O. wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, I certainly don't want it to come across as if I don't believe that Marvin Harrison deserved to be a Hall of Famer. 1,102 receptions, 14,580 yards, 128 touchdowns. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, those are Hall of Fame credentials. And the fact that it was his third try, as far as I'm concerned, he should have been in earlier as well. So I look at it from the perspective that I certainly don't want to sit up there and say that T.O. deserves to be knocked for believing he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. But if in any way he came across as somebody that felt that he deserved to be in there before a Marvin Harrison, after Marvin Harrison already been rejected twice, well, then that's a different argument altogether. And if anybody is qualified to make an argument for himself, it's Marvin Harrison. Now, in fairness, he did play with Peyton Manning his whole career practically. And then you look at T.O. with the bevy of quarterbacks that he's had, Donovan McNabb, Jeff Garcia before that, Andy Dalton after that, et cetera, et cetera. 153 touchdowns, 1,178 receptions, 15,934 yards. Top 5 categories in several statistical categories as a wide receiver in NFL history. I still believe that T.O. should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. But what resonated with me, Skip, was how Marvin Harrison talked about Isaac Bruce and, various other receivers, Randy Moss included, how they're deserving. And he emphasized the word class and how they showed it. And so clearly he believes that something T.O. said wasn't emblematic of that. I didn't find that to be the case because I never heard T.O. say a negative word about Marvin Harrison or even imply it. But I don't know what Marvin Harrison heard. And if Marvin Harrison felt that T.O. was denigrating him in any way, he had the right to stand up and defend himself because he clearly has the credentials that warrant him being in the Hall of Fame. My only last point is, those words by Marvin Harrison is the first time I've ever heard him say anything in all of these years. I was shocked he even talked, let alone had that much to say.
I know. Okay, I'm going to try to go one level deeper here, so help me out.
Okay.
That was an angry blast from a Marvin Harrison that, as you point out, we have not heard much from in his entire career. And I'm trying to figure out exactly what prompted such sort of dismissive vitriol aimed at Terrell Owens. And I can only go here, Stephen A. If you recall, before the Hall of Fame, the selection process took place that Saturday before the Super Bowl, Terrell Owens was asked, and I don't remember which interview it was, but I looked it up this morning, and he was asked about himself, and he made the point, I'm just going to paraphrase most of it, but as Terrell's often pointed out, hey, off the field, Terrell Owens, never got in trouble. And then he referred to Marvin Harrison and said he did have a gun incident. Then he went on to say a gun charge, ... someone got killed. And I don't remember, did you follow all the what happened to Marvin with the gun incident in Philadelphia? Yes. I don't remember if you... Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay, point of order here for Terrell. Marvin Harrison never got charged. Now, the police did decide that a weapon, a gun belonging to Marvin, was used to fire shots at another man, but that the police could not determine whether Marvin was pulling the trigger. It might have been someone else using Marvin's gun. That's all I know. We can go into all kinds of other details, but it's not worthy of this conversation right now. It's really not germane. The point is, he was never charged. So is it possible that Marvin took that personally, that he felt like, quote unquote, a shot had been fired by Terrell at him that was out of bounds. Maybe that was it.
But that has to be it. I can't think of anything else because I didn't hear T.O. mention any. I don't even recall T.O. mentioning that. But if he did mention that, like you just said, well, then you know what? That would be grounds for that kind of reaction from Marvin Harrison. Because let me tell you something right now. Especially if you're from the streets of Philadelphia and you were never charged, and that's not that's not something you want somebody bringing up. I mean something like that. That's a cause for a fight. For somebody to even broach that subject if you haven't even been charged. I'm just here to tell you how the brothers are going to react to something like that.
Okay, I got it. So, bottom line to this, I do want to applaud Terrell Owens because yesterday on Twitter, he actually took the high road in subsequent tweets to the one that Molly read and basically congratulated Marvin Harrison and wished him well. And it showed a little maturity, I thought, on Terrell's part, just to back off and say, I'm not going to get any more mudslinging with Marvin Harrison.
I agree with that. There would have been a no-win proposition for T.O. First of all, he's on the outside looking in at the Hall of Fame. Marvin Harrison is already in. Secondly, and more importantly, throughout his NFL career, Marvin Harrison has a very, very good reputation because he never bothered anybody and never wanted to be bothered. He just went about the business of doing his job and going home. And so you got a lot of people he has profound respect throughout the NFL community. And so when you look at it from that perspective, if T.O. had engaged in any kind of back and forth with him, it would have only made T.O. look bad. So it was very wise that he didn't do that.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Skip. It was a classy tweet. So you think that was beef? We have real beef up next, and it's going to be good. Can't wait to hear what the guys have to say. When Conor McGregor is done with this fight on Saturday,